Ralph Ellis Stadium. It is the ICTN Game of the Week. Your Irving Tigers homecoming playing host to the Flower Mound Jaguars. Hello, everybody. Rob Willman with you along with John Nelson. We've had about a 45-minute rain delay, but the rain and, more importantly, the dangerous lightning is gone, and we're about ready for the kickoff. Irving Tigers will receive. They lost the flip of the coin, and they will get the ball first. The Jaguars won the flip. They deferred. Let's look at the standings coming in here. One district game already under the belt. Flower Mound, really a tough win. 1-0 now. Marcus, Hebron, Coppell, they were all the first week winners. Louisville, Nimitz, Irving, MacArthur losing that first game in district. Big win as Flower Mound defeated Louisville, much improved Louisville team. So that was a big win under their belt. Like we said earlier, it is homecoming for the Irving Tigers, also kind of a homecoming for the head coach for the Jaguars, and we'll talk about that later on. But first, let's get this game underway, and with the call, John Nelson.
All right, Rob, nice to be working with you again. Week 5 of the 2019 season, first week of October. This is cold. He'll take a knee 8 yards deep in the end zone. The Irving Tigers will start from the 25. Battle of the Cats tonight, the Jaguars and the Tigers. Irving coming in averaging 17 points a game. And the Jaguar defense allowing just over 30. There they are in all white. 3-1 overall. The Tigers looking for win number 1. And your quarterback is a freshman, Adrian Medina. Comes in with a 54% completion rate. He'll need that and maybe a little more to stay with this Jaguar defense tonight. Running play to the outside 30 and pile up at the 31-yard line. First give of the game. Handoff over the left side. That's number 20, Nick Cole. You'll also see Ashton Scott tonight, number 30, as a running back. District 6-6A Game of the Week.
Nice little run to start things off on the left side, John.
Yeah,
plenty of running room, and I mean, let's be honest here. It's got to be ball control. If the Tigers have a chance to win this one, they've got to keep it out of the hands of Flower Mound in their potent air attack.
Yeah, they'll take 6 yards every time. 2nd and 4 as the Tigers scrimmage from the 31. Here's Cole trying to get to the edge and will not get to the 30. Loses a couple of yards, forced out of bounds. Nice pursuit. One of them, Josh Linheiser, number 10.
Also, Session did a really good job of just stretching the play. The Tigers offensively, Cueva, Navarez, Gardinas, Castillo, and Richards are the guys up front. Medina, of course, the quarterback, and Scott, we've talked about them. Salazar, Torres, Neal, and Mason, your other key players offensively.
3rd and 5 as the Tigers scrimmage from the 30. In the middle, caught. 35, out to the 37-yard line, and a first down. Middle screen, and a nice catch. In the middle, hauled in by Jalen Jackson. Jackson, one of 11 sophomores.
A lot of players bunched up in there. I mean, the Tigers really, I think, fortunate they got the needed yardage for the first down. Good play, trying to get Flower Mound to commit and overreact, but there was a bunch of players stuck in the middle, and Jackson did a good job making his way through for the first.
Tigers coming off of a loss to Flower Mound Marcus. And the Jaguars defeating Louisville last week, 34-30. Out in the flat, this is the tight end, Eddie Salazar. And Salazar draws the crowd at the 37.
Salazar lost a couple on that play. Defensively for Flower Mound, you've got Baltmanis, McFarling, Thomason, and Eby, the front 4. Session, Colby, Taylor are your linebackers. And then the guys back in the backfield defensively, Overton, McCall, Johnson, and Gabe Maxwell for Flower Mound.
Nose of the football just touching the 37. It'll be 2nd and 11. Again from the spread, Adrian Medina. Drops back, rush up the middle, and this was picked off at the 35. Intercepted by Ball Thomas. Is that him?
It looked like it, right in the middle. It looked like 55. They plug the gap. They send one of the safeties. There wasn't a lot of room. Watch in the middle there. Zach Taylor, 15, also coming across. And what a nifty play by the big guy. They're not supposed to make plays like that.
Spencer Baltmanis, the Dallas Morning News Defensive Player of the Week last week. Motion in the line. And here's a pass caught inside the 15 as Blake Short goes deep on the first play from scrimmage.
And they go very quickly, John.
From the 12, Blake Short is a quarterback. He's a senior. A completion rate of 60%. Goes to the end zone, caught 2 plays, and a touchdown for the Jaguars. That's Reed Touchstone, his 3rd touchdown catch of the year.
So you're saying Touchstone for the touchdown.
Number 7 for 6.
2 plays, took 15 seconds.
And a 6-0 Jaguar lead as they line up, and now they shift, and here comes the extra point team. That would mean Bert Auburn. Auburn number 84. One of 11 juniors. This is a top-heavy team loaded with seniors this year. The extra point good. 9:30 left in the opening quarter. It's a 7-0 Flower Mound lead.
Again, took all of 15 seconds, 35 yards in all. Short with plenty of time. A little crossing pattern. If you can't get pressure on the quarterback, it's going to be a long night for the Tigers. And the offensive line, mammoth for Flower Mound. Really don't find a munchkin anywhere amongst the 5 down linemen offensively.
Well, they average 253. This is a very good offensive line.
And Irving needed to play ball control right out of the gate, and that didn't happen. They got 1 first down, and then they went backwards. This is a team, we're talking about Irving as a team, that can't have a 2nd and 10, a 3rd and 8. They've got to have a 3rd and 2 to have any shot at keeping pace with the Jaguars, who put up just really big numbers, 400 yards a game in offense and, 40 points a game. But the thing is, what they're going to run into somewhere down the line is the fact that defensively they're giving up 32 points a game and, over 400 and something yards as well. So I guess for Coach Basil, it's his defensive guys. Although, if they get big leads and they bring in the subs late in the ball game and the subs give up some yardage, that could be a little misleading.
That's a different story when you talk about that. 84, Bert Auburn has it teed up. Talking to Coach Eric De Los Santos earlier this afternoon, he said, all 3 phases have to be hitting on all cylinders tonight. Offense, defense, and special teams to stay with this Flower Mound team. If the freshman can just stay in the system, Adrian Medina, maybe some nice things would happen here in the first half. So it'll come out to the 25, possession number 2 for the Irving Tigers.
Take a look there at De Los Santos, his 2nd year. Was a defensive coordinator 4 years at Coppell and also a defensive coordinator at Plano and Liberty. Played ball in South Dakota at a small university, played safety for that school. It is not South Dakota weather yet.
When would that be? Maybe in a couple of weeks?
Maybe so. Maybe stretching it to say it's South Dakota weather.
Nick Cole, not much at all, maybe 1.5 yards. Nick Cole, a junior, plays rover on defense for the Tigers. 22 seniors, 16 juniors, 11 sophomores, and 1 freshman this year for head coach Eric De Los Santos in year number 2.
We need to note, though, that the starting running back, Banks, is hurt for Irving. So Cole's being put in the spotlight quickly tonight.
Gets it again. And stacked up at the 29. A flag dropped at the end of the play.
I don't see any. Maybe it was just one of the towels.
Yeah, it's a yellow towel that looked like a flag. So the play stands just shy of the 30. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Stone Evie comes in to tonight's game, the team's leading tackler with 29. Keep an eye on number 5. We've already seen number 55. Ball modest with an interception. 3rd and a nickel from the 30. Handoff, and not much, stacked up at the 32. And we'll set up 4th down. There's one of the tacklers we talked about, EB number 5, as Nick Cole being helped up, and here comes a punt team for the Tigers. In punt formation, Max Cabezas, number 19. Number 14, Reese Carter. One of the 2 men back in return posture for the Jaguars. And this is Carter, hauls it in at the 35. Crosses a 40, evades one, eludes another, crosses midfield and takes it all the way down to the Irving 43.
Set up really well. Had a semi-wall on the far sideline, and he had to get past just one row of Tigers and got really good blocks, no blocks in the back, and had that sideline. Offensively, we didn't get a chance to introduce him because it was such a quick start, but Mulkey, Lee, Adams, Harden, Hendry are the guys up front. Got Clark, Carter, Touchstone, who got the touchdown earlier in Winters. Those are your guys out in the wide receiver patterns.
Hudgens inside the 40 takes it down to the Tiger 38. This was only the 3rd play in this first quarter for the Jaguars. It's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 39. Hudgens again up the middle, breaks into the secondary inside the 20 and dropped at the 18, and a flag dropped as well.
This came almost as soon as they snapped the football from one of the far side officials very quickly, very far down. Don't know if it's a sideline infraction by Irving or not. Let's see. Yep.
Got to stay back behind the white, guys. Behind the white.
So the play stands. It'll be 1st and 10, Flower Mound, at about the 17-yard line. Pierce Hudgens averages about 4.5 yards a carry. Has 7 touchdowns this year. The delayed handoff, Hudgens tripped up at the 13. Hudgens last year had over 1,700 yards and 26 touchdowns.
And a quick huddle. We'll go very quickly here for the defensive lineups. Umazor, Hernandez, Galvan, Escamilla, Rogers, Franklin, and Cole are your linebackers. And then in the secondary, Mason, McAdory, Jackson, and Williams. Didn't miss anything. It was the first incomplete pass of the evening by Short.
Intended for Carson Winters, number 9. It'll be 3rd and 5. Ball near the 13-yard line. Blake Short, over 1,200 yards this year.
Is he going to have to go on the sideline? I think they're going to have to bring out the backup quarterback. Is that going to be Clark, 12? For some reason, Short had to come off the field. And yes, it is number 12, Clark, in at quarterback.
Parker Clark, a sophomore. On 3rd down, Hudgens close to the 10. About a yard short.
Well, Coach Basil, who used to be at MacArthur High School, he loves to go quick huddle.
On 4th down, Hudgens has the first, surges ahead to the 7. Here's Hudgens, 7 touchdowns this year. Marcus averaging 40 points a game. Again, the Jaguars 3-1 in 2019.
Short back out at quarterback.
Blake looking end zone, throws him broken up, intended for Reed Touchstone.
We talked about Hudgens and his offensive running ability. Came in with about 4 yards a carry. He was the only one, though, in triple digits as far as yardage running the ball coming in. Everyone else 40 yards and less. He's got over 300.
Second and goal from the 7. Short to the corner of the end zone and out of the reach of Carson Winters. It'll be third and goal.
Big break for Irving on that play. Carson did a little down and out toward the sideline, and he slipped. We'll watch the replay. Watch the defensive player slipped. That's number 5, which is Davion Williams, the junior DB. He slipped. Could have been a touchdown for Winters, and the pass wasn't there.
Here's the play relayed into Blake Short. Play clock down to 8. They've got time. Third and goal from the 7. Short probing the secondary. Unloads. And did he catch it and drop it incomplete? It'll be fourth down. Nice pressure on that outside by the outside linebackers. Intended for Winters.
Really good pressure indeed, John. In fact, he was able to contain Short in the process as he faked one way, goes to the right, and look at the containment by the linebacker. And because of that, he was able to keep him from scoring. Ashton Scott, the senior DB, doing a fine job defensively.
It'll be a 29-yard field goal attempt, virtually no angle at all for Bert Auburn. Good snap, good hold. And the field goal is good at the 5:48 mark as the Jaguars now extend the lead to 10-0.
Call that a small victory for the Tigers.
Started from the Irving 43, got down to the 7. So they hold into a field goal, and we'll see our third kickoff tonight by the Jaguars.
You see the height that Auburn gets on those kicks.
Yeah, watching him in warm-ups, he brought rain.
Literally.
Yeah, he gets underneath it pretty good.
Who would believe after no rain for the entire month of September, here we are just a few days in October, this ball game being recorded on the 4th of October, 2019, that we would have a 30-minute or so delay because of lightning in the area.
It came in from the east, kind of circled around to the south. It maybe rained 10 drops here, and that was it.
There's Coach Basil, 16-15, 4th season. Different seeing him over there on the sidelines on that sideline instead of the home sideline, although he was a visitor on a few occasions as the two Irving schools would face each other. MacArthur was the visiting team against Irving or Nimitz. So it's not like it's an entirely new thing for him.
His team won the district last year. They won 8 games overall, a perfect 7-0 in district last year.
You know, John, that's only the second time in the history of the program they had won 8 games. So quite an accomplishment for Coach Basil and company.
Yeah, good season, 8-3. They were 4-6 a couple of years ago. Here's Auburn. Not as deep, and caught at the 3. Cole will not get to the 20, shoved back as forward progress around the 16-yard line.
You know, you can do the fair catch now, and it will move out to the 25, and I'm sure the coaches will tell him that. Look, we need all the help we can get field position-wise, right?
No doubt about it. And that is where they will start at the 16. Third possession in the quarter for the Tigers. Running back is Ashton Scott, number 30, a senior. Tight end shifting around to the right, that's Salazar. And hold everything as soon as Medina gets a snap from center. They have some movement. It'll cost the Tigers 5.
Offense number 54.
Either Salazar got there late or
first down.
should have been on the other side. They also had some movement inside.
Coronado is the one they called for the movement.
Of tackles. Center is anchored, the offensive line anchored by Jaime Cardenas, number 65. There's a freshman, Adrian Medina. First and 15. Medina loading up, swings it out, and not much to the 12 on first down. That's Scott.
Did he even get to the line of scrimmage?
Right at it. Give him a yard, 2nd and 14. From the 12. Winding down to the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, 2nd and 14. Medina takes the high snap, throws, and as soon as the catch was made, dropped at the 10, a couple of yards loss.
It's that wide receiver screen that you see a lot of teams run, except you've got to get the key block on one of the DBs to break it open. And Linheiser was there, Maxwell were there.
Yeah, he kind of showcased it, and Linheiser right there as soon as the catch was made.
Yep, and also Maxwell, number 11. Kind of looks like Cole Beasley out there.
Maxwell, a senior, 3rd and 15 from the 11. Twin receivers to the right. Medina floats it out to the right and short hops it at the 14-yard line, intended for Montre Mason, number 4, a junior.
Well, that's a tough throw for the freshman. Under duress, turned the body, had to throw it to the wide side of the field. You know, sure he had Mason open, but that was a long throw.
Max Cabezas standing 3 yards deep in the end zone on 4th down. Reese Carter drops back with Reed, touchdown. Cabezas unloads. This is headed towards Carter. Hits at the 40, takes a Tiger roll of about 18, now close to 20 yards, and goes out of bounds at the 41. A lot of that on the roll, and they've got him pinned back at the 41 with 4:04 to go in the first.
Probably one of the better plays for Irving here in the first quarter of play.
Well, Coach De Los Santos said there's nothing wrong with a punt. Get a nice one off and try to hold him at bay. From the spread formation, Blake Short. Here's Hudgens, number 13, looking to the sidelines. I got 3 receivers flexed out to the right on first down. Here's Short. He'll hand it to Hudgens. Hudgens crosses midfield to the 40, sidesteps a defender, 35, eludes another, and dives to the 29, and flag drop back near midfield.
Well, that 30-yard gain may come back. The yellow flag thrown at the 48 of Flower Mound. Wide receiver with a bad block, I believe. Let's go down to the field and find out.
Holding, offense number 59, be 10 yards from the previous spot,
Mulkey,
remains first down.
Which is the offensive lineman. And the first big penalty against Flower Mound wipes out a big gain.
4 seniors and a junior on the offensive line for the Jaguars. Hudgens, one of the better runners in the district. As we said, over 1,700 yards last year and 26 touchdowns. There's a look at Blake Short. His numbers, a completion rate of about 60%, right at it. 13 touchdowns, closing in now on 1,300 yards. From the spot of the foul, they'll place it at the 38. So it's 1st and 13. Hudgens up the middle. Hudgens wrestled down at about the 36. Well, they got that one back. He gained about 24.
54 yards so far.
Man, that hole opened up by Adams. Nate Adams, the offensive center, opening up a huge crevice to the short side. Caught. This is Colby Clark. Clark to the 31. And they do go quick. 2nd and about 5. Short to the end zone, to the back of the end zone, and caught. Hauled in by Parker Clark. Blake Short to Parker Clark, his 5th touchdown catch of the year. And Rob, I didn't think there was any way that Short was going to stay in bounds.
No. He was Clark was right at the back part of the end zone. And two officials were right on top of it. Remember, you only need 1 foot down in high school football. Apparently that was all he needed.
2.5 minutes after their field goal, they add 6, now make it 7 on the extra point ball. Auburn booted through, and our new score with 3:13 left in the first, it is 17-0.
Again, short, look at all the time. Wait. Back of the end zone, you just need a foot. He's got the foot down.
Montre Mason providing the coverage, but what concentration by Parker Clark.
Let's look at it from the end zone again. Short had plenty of time. He had the left foot down. As long as he didn't bobble the football, it's golden. And the refs were there, and they said, count it.
Man, you know you're going to get hit, and Clark able to bring it in.
Mason was back there covering Clark, and Mason didn't get the head around in time. I mean, he was looking at the receiver. If he could have just turned around in time, he might have been able to knock the ball away. But nonetheless, what, 3 out of 4 possessions?
Yep.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3 possessions, and they've scored on every possession. A
Perfect.
Touchdown, a field goal, and a touchdown.
Short now with 15 touchdowns. He's gone over 1,300 yards. And a 17-0 bulge here in the first quarter. That drive of 59 yards. And a busy Bert Auburn kicking-wise tonight.
The thing is, John, that 59-yard drive was less than a minute. That's the thing about these Flower Mound drives. They're very quick with that run-and-shoot type offense, if you will. You don't give your defensive guys much time to catch their breath, do you?
Not much at all. Auburn through the end zone. It'll come out to the 25, and the 4th possession upcoming for the Tigers here in the opening stanza. Jaguars will host Nimitz next week. And we see a flag across the way in front of the 20-yard line. Maybe it's some holding or maybe a push in the back, but there was no return.
This offense by Coach Basil and company, they pretty much could do what they want to do tonight. Can't get enough pressure on the quarterback.
A good offensive line to work with this year for Blake Short.
Yeah, there's no munchkins out there, are there?
44 seniors on target to win 8 more games this year. A rather lengthy discussion.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Offsides, kicking team, that foul is declined. We had a personal foul, blindside block on the kicking team. That'd be 15 yards from the 25-yard line.
So a couple of violations against Flower Mound. The offsides, of course, they refuse. And then a blindside, he said a blindside block against Flower Mound, which they will add after the kick. So that'll give Irving their best field position of the night at their own 40.
On the touchback, it would have been at the 25. 15 more yards, places it at the 40 on the personal foul. Running play up the middle, over the left side, and a gain of about 4 yards. On first down, that's
Scott.
Ashton Scott. Nick Cole started. As Rob said, they're without Chasen Banks tonight, the senior, averaging about 4.4 yards a carry. 2nd and 6 at the 44. 2 receivers wide left, 1 to the near side. Medina will turn, hand it off. To the 47-yard line goes Ashton Scott. It'll bring up 3rd and a long 3. Tigers 0-10 last year, 0-7 in the district. They do have 7 returning on offense this year, 9 on defense. From the 47, 3rd and short. Medina looking over the middle, caught. That's a first down inside the 45 as the helmet comes loose off of the hit of Fernando Torres, his first catch. Well, that helmet went about 12 yards downfield as Torres will have to come out.
Hey, this is a well-designed play. They waited for Torres to clear the area. Only the second first down by the Tigers here in the ball game, but they keep the drive going.
Yeah, Zach Taylor just took the helmet off. On 1st and 10 from the Jaguar 43. Up the middle. And maybe a yard and a half, close to 2 yards. Running behind number 55, Oscar Castillo. Gain of a couple.
This is what Irving wanted to do from the get-go, and that's just keep control of the football. They rolled a couple of minutes already off the clock. And they're going to call timeout.
Inside of a minute, as the Tigers utilize their first timeout, they'll face a 2nd and 8 from the Jaguar 41.
You know, Flower Mound, they travel big, and they really travel big like the drill team and the band. That's just a tight shot there, but as we come on out, I can't remember, maybe Duncanville back in its heyday would fill up as many sections down there toward the end zone. Allen, of course, you know, Allen's got a whole city as a band, but for Flower Mound, that's a pretty good sized band and drill team.
Yeah, very impressive. And those that were in their seats at about 6:30 tonight all had to leave. That lightning delay forced everyone out of the stadium. And they've all come back. Had to wait in the cars, the gym with a great school behind us, and the buses, wherever they could find cover. 2nd and 8 as we pick it up for the Irving Tigers at the Flower Mound 41. Scott moves a couple of steps over to the right from Medina. Play action, it is caught inside the 30 as they convert. Nice catch by number 26, Anthony Miles.
His first catch of the night comes at a great time. Quick plays, give him time. The youngster, look, it's just 2 steps and fires. And that's what you got to do. You can't stay back there very long and let the big defensive front come get you.
Miles, a sophomore, brought down by the quarterback, Josh Johnson. From the 29, 1st and 10. And nothing at all as Stone Eby meeting Ashton Scott right on the grill.
He is a big specimen there at defensive end.
And that'll be the last play of the quarter. We've completed one here at Joy and Ralph Allen Stadium. Homecoming night for the Irving Tigers. Our score, Flower Mound 17 and the Irving Tigers nothing. John Nelson back with Rob Williman here on a 2nd and 11 for the Irving Tigers. They scrimmage from the 30 of Flower Mound. Here's a toss to the right, and Cole runs out of bounds at the 31. That short side got clogged up, and no running room at all for Nick Cole.
He actually kind of gave up there a little bit and went out of bounds and lost a yard or 2.
Uses a little yardage. It'll be 3rd and a dozen. Sideline right, open field left on 3rd down for Adrian Medina. Looking to the near side, it's a wobbler, intercepted at the 30, and this will be 6. Taking it all the way is Carson Winters. Or not Winters, it's Markel Sessions. Session, the nickelback, and the senior takes it all the way, and it is 23-0. Well, that doesn't look good as soon as it left the hand of Medina, Rob.
Well, the pressure was getting to him. He had to high step a defender, and he threw off the back leg. And you know, you can't get enough on it when you throw off your back leg. A shame, too, because for Irving, it was their best possession offensively that they've had in the ball game. But remember what we said, the short, quick passes have been very good for them, or at least a lot better in terms of efficiency. And when you have to get back there and set up, too many bad things can happen, and such was the case there.
Just 19 seconds into the second quarter. Here's the hole by Zach Taylor, and the extra point is perfect for Bert Auburn. It is 24-0.
Watch again. See right there, he gets the pressure, and it's just a wobbler. Picked off right there at the 30, and then 70 yards later, it's touchdown time. Watch again. That defensive end coming across trying to get him, Eby, and he throws up a wounded duck, and easy for Session to read that one. And, you know, once he gets a couple of steps on everyone else, it's nothing but the end zone in his sights.
Markel Sessions, 72 yards on the interception, untouched, and a 24-0 lead.
Second turnover, second interception thrown by the freshman Medina. And number 5, Stone Eby, a junior, 6'4", 231. Just wreaking havoc on that line defensively.
He's one of the 2 defensive ends. Spencer Baltmanis is the other. We've already seen him tonight. He has an interception. So the Tigers now moving right to left here in the second quarter. Standing at the 10-yard line, awaiting the kickoff, is Nick Cole. All the way across the other side is Jalen Jackson. Flower Mound trying to go to 4-1 on the year, 2-0 in the district, and a huge 24-0 lead.
And on the way to winning, what, their 10th straight district win.
Yeah, would be 10 in a row. Auburn on the kickoff, got all of this one. On the full windup, sends it 9 yards deep. It'll come out, and the Tigers take over at their own 25.
What do you say as a coach, John? 24-0. You got 3 whole quarters basically left of the game. It's just one of those things where you just got to keep plugging away, basically.
Let's get some first downs, get a little bit of confidence. Twin receivers cut on either side. Nick Cole, the setback with the gold shoes. Adrian Medina hands it off, and Cole is sandwiched at the 26. Just over a yard, they'll give him 2. It'll be second down 8. In the offensive line, Cameron Richards, number 52. As Pablo Coronado leaves. So an offensive lineman change. Eddie Salazar stays in as a tight end, number 87. From the 27, right between the hash marks, second down and 8. Salazar lines up behind the right tackle. Here's Cole into the center of the line. And Cole crosses the 30, has yardage to the 31. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Just taking a look at the Jaguars' defensive lineup. They got 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and they throw an extra guy out there. It's kind of a hybrid, if you will, linebacker, defensive back.
One of those tackles is Travis McFarling. He was a leading tackler last year for the Jags. 3rd and 4 from the 31. Medina fires. It's caught in traffic right at the 35 and close to a first down. Nathan Rodriguez, number 80.
He may be a yard. No, they gave it to him.
It's a first down catch, so the drive stays alive. 1st and 10 at the 35.
6th receiver that Medina has gone to tonight.
Adrian Medina, the freshman. Looking to the sidelines. He will hand it off. And a tough punishing 2 yards for Nick Cole. Assisted by Derek Cueva, number 62.
Between Cole and Scott, they're going to fill every bit of that yardage they make tonight.
Solomon Neal not playing tonight. He's our leading receiver, number 1, a senior. Has 4 touchdown catches this year, but they're without Solomon Neal. 2nd and 8. From the 37. Here's Cole again trying to get to the outside. Is tossed down at the 35.
Once again, a gentleman we've called already tonight with that really good interception, Spencer Balmontes. 1 interception under his belt, and that time he just read the play, slid along the line, and made sure no yardage was made.
Loss of yardage, 3rd down, and needing close to 10. Medina drops back, middle screen to the 39. Going to be well short as Nick Cole is dropped. And here comes a punt team. It'll be the 3rd punt of the half for the Tigers.
Although they did make enough for the first down, I like the call. That's something you've got to do against an aggressive defensive front.
Touchstone and Parker Clark back deep. Max Cabezas in punt formation on 4th and 6. Not much pressure. Well away from Touchstone and goes out of bounds as they mark off the angle, going to be close to the 35. Well, it's the 36. And that's where the Jaguars start, possession number 4. A couple of touchdown passes and a 29-yard field goal. And an interception, the scoring in the first half for the Jags.
The Flower Mound started at Irving's 35. They've started at Irving's 43. They intercepted 1 pass. The 2nd time in a row they've been on their own side of the yard, but it's, 35 and in.
Swing pass caught, running room 40. 45 crossing midfield inside
Fumble.
the 45 and losing it and getting it right back is Reed Touchstone. Big gain for Touchstone. They mark it down at the 47.
That's Carter. Carter 14.
Short, going deep, left sideline, and inside the 10. Another stunning receiving catch by Reed Touchstone. Double teamed, and Touchstone came down with it. It's 1st and goal at the 8. Hudgens close to the goal line. And just outside the goal line, about the 1 foot line. Pierce Hudgens 2nd and goal. Hudgens will have 6. Not many plays as they scoot 64 yards and extend the lead now to 30-0.
John, they move so fast.
They like to get that play off within 3 seconds, and they haven't disappointed anyone tonight in doing that.
48-second drive, John.
That's a killer halfway through the 2nd quarter.
They just wear the defensive side out.
Well, that's the thing. They have depth. They've got just about everything you'd need. The extra point is perfect, and there's point number 31 with 7:04 to go in the half.
So Hudgens wearing 13. Just a basic dive left to the left of his center, between the guard and the center. You see just a slide hole there and a crackdown block. Really didn't need it, as Stites, number 61, was playing the right side and did a trap block. Almost could have slowed down Hudgens a little bit, but the 6-play drive.
But what about these catches? I mean, double coverage, and they some of these unbelievable catches.
Well, look at the timing. Look at the timing of the grab, where he came way high. His touchstone, he has the touch, doesn't he? I mean, he literally, the timing on that play, the coverage was good, but Touchstone just had a read on it and knew when to jump. Jump from the ball was at its highest before it, really started to make a move downward and just out-jump the defender.
Well, they've got Parker Clark, Carson Winters, of course, Touchstone. Outstanding receivers, 31-0 the count.
Well, Touchstone was averaging 22 yards a catch coming in and averaged about 83 yards a ball game.
And for the year now has 25 catches and over 400 yards.
Thing about this team is they got 6 or 7 guys that are 100 yards or right around 100 or more in receiving coming into tonight's game. So they spread it around quite well.
That one caught by Nick Cole. Of course, you can fair catch it. And Cole did just that. It'll start from the 25. 6th possession for the Tigers. 7:04 to go in a 31-0 first half lead for Flower Mound. And a stone wall awaiting number 30, Ashton Scott. No gain at all. It'll be 2nd and 10. And if it weren't bad enough, Rob, the Jaguars will receive the second half kickoff. So they'll get the ball right now with a 31-0 lead to start the second half. 2nd and 10 on the run. Trying to loop it out to number 6, Fernando Torres. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Diego Moran, number 24, had a good beat on that. Almost picked it off as Medina rolls to his right, and Moran just got to jump on it and hit him in the hands.
Off the fingertips of the senior safety. 3rd and 10. As Medina with a long count. Here's a rush up the middle. Medina running for his life and is piled up at the 24.
Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. He had Scott in the flat. Problem was Medina didn't have any time to get the ball out of his hands. Watch the right side. Nobody blocks the corner coming in there. Zach Taylor, the safety.
Taylor's the 2nd leading tackler on the team. And Max Cabezas again in punt formation. Touchstone and Carter back deep. And hauled in at the 41-yard line. This is Reese Carter. Carter upended across midfield.
Once again, Flower Mound with just outstanding field position. They've had it at their own 36. That's the worst field position they've had all night. And, you know, you just can't do that against a good team.
A spot at the 48 of the Irving Tigers.
Shoot 5:26. They could score 5 more times at this rate.
Oh, yeah,
They score once a minute.
Plenty of time from the 48. Short inside handoff. 45 inside the 40. First down yardage 35 inside the 30. He's still moving inside the 25.
Goodness gracious.
What a nice run by Colby Clark, number 22, the senior. And a first down to the 23. Short, empties the backfield, throws across the middle, caught at the 9 to the end zone, touchdown. Reese Carter. Everybody getting into the act here, Rob, in the first half.
23-yard touchdown strike. 37 on the night and 2 catches for Clark.
So Blake Short now with 16 touchdown throws on the year.
Auburn for the extra point.
So that took a grand total of 23 seconds.
Man, 5:03 left here in the third. The scorecard, mine, looks like an Algebra 2 test, and I failed Algebra 2. I've got numbers all over the place. Extra point is good. It is 38-0.
Starts with timing. Look at this. He looks around. He checks down to about 3 different receivers until he finds Clark there in the middle. And Clark just splits the zone within the last couple of yards and nudges into the end zone for a 38-0 Flower Mound lead.
That post pattern is hard to stop. Reese Carter didn't even have to break stride. Perfect pass. And the lead continues to swell at 38-0. 48-yard drive. Head coach Brian Basil, year number 4.
You know, he has a couple of coaches with Irving ties on the team. Kane Harden. Remember Kane?
I do.
Former quarterback.
Yep.
Played for Basil. He's on his staff. Ben Sarter, former player and coach at Irving. He's on his staff.
Kane Harden has as good a senior year as anybody in this city about the last 15 years. He put up some good numbers. 5:03 left here in the half. Flower Mound, they won big last year, 62-14.
I can see that. I mean, he really has this offense churning out. And, you know, it starts with the quarterback who can get the ball down there. He's got top-notch guys, wideouts.
You better be set in the secondary when they come out from the huddle. This one skips through the end zone and will be brought out to the 25.
Penalty flag on the play.
Could have been offsides on the kick. Let's see.
Offside, kicking team number 46. 5 yards will be added to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
And just a second penalty.
A 15-yarder, now the 5. And that'll place it at the 30. Ashton Scott, the setback on 1st and 10 from the 30. Here is Scott up the middle, clogged up. And Scott able to squeeze out about 3 yards. Tigers open the year against Fort Worth Pascal.
33.
Had games with North Garland and Dallas Kimball in non-district and district opening play against Flower Mound Marcus. 2nd and 7 from the 33. On the sweep, 35 out to the 37-yard line.
Scott on the carry.
4-yard run by Ashton Scott. Well, they need a couple of first downs and
4-yard gain.
just get something going here late in the second quarter.
Indian school. Just make them feel good about themselves. Get it across the goal line. Go in at the half. Knowing you can get some points.
Anthony Miles comes out. Nathan Rodriguez, junior receiver, wide right on 3rd and 3. To the near side, a little bit too tall. Intended for Mason, guarded by Gabe Maxwell, the cornerback, number 11.
4th down 3.
And will set up 4th down. And number 19 with a familiar role here in the half, Max Cabezas out to punt it away. This will be the 5th punt in the half for the Tigers. There you see the alignment right behind the punter. Touchstone to one side, Reese Carter to the other. This one headed, well, it nosedives out of bounds, out of angle, Rob. That's going to be near midfield.
45.
Mark it out at the Jaguar 45-yard line with 3.5 to go in the half.
First down 10. Flower Mound at the 45.
Number 42, Andrew Moss in at a running back. On 1st down, Blake Short, he'll hand it off to Moss, coming left. Moss near midfield, forced out of bounds at that point. It's a gain of 5.
See a lot of fresh faces out there.
Yeah, some receivers as well. 2nd and 5. To the sidelines, caught. 1st down yardage, cut down at the 40-yard line, losing the ball. If it's a fumble, the Tigers have recovered Caden Basil, the receiver. And they rule him down. It is a 1st down. They set the chains at the 40. The Tigers take a timeout with 3:20 to go in the half. Fast, quick yardage to Basil.
Go ahead, say it.
The senior son
There you go.
of the head coach. Across the way in year number 4, the program started back in 2000, and as Rob said, for only 2 times the Jags have won 8 games in a season. A by-district appearance last year at 8-3. So the Tigers take their 2nd timeout.
In fact, Coach Basil's only the 3rd head coach in the history of the program.
Who started it all?
Cody Vanderford.
He was there from the outset.
12 years. Dane Johnson took over. There's Coach Sarter.
A little buzz cut.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
First down 10.
Irving's
40.
baseball coach.
From the 40 on 1st down, it's a pass. It is caught, running room 45, crossing midfield and slammed down hard. Number 22, Colby Clark. Clark has a 1st down. It's a pass and catch of 13 yards.
Down 10. 13-yard gain, ball for 27.
From the 27. Intended at the 16-yard line for Riley Sanders.
First down 10 for Riley
2nd and 10 from the 27. So Andrew Moss stays in as the setback. Blake Short from the spread. He'll hand it off to Short on a draw. A little delay.
Hands off to number 42.
And has yardage to the 21.
Their passing game makes that play so effective. Not like the old days, run to set up the pass. They pass to set up the run.
Andrew Moss, one of 4 sophomores, 3rd and 4 from the 21. A little movement in the line. No flag. 2.5 minutes left here in the half on 3rd and 4. Lost it. Who has it? And number 8 to cover up, Blake Short.
Quarterback Short recovers.
Upset it himself as he recovered his own fumble. That will set up 4th down, and we'll have a field goal attempt upcoming of 41 yards.
I bet you Koki makes it.
This kid has range from the 50. Bert Auburn, long distance threat. Out of the hole of Zach Taylor. So a Diet Coke or just any kind of Coke here?
Iced tea unsweetened. No.
Bert Auburn from 41 yards. It's spotted. It is up, and it is good just inside the right upright from 41 yards out. It goes 41-0.
A 41-yard field goal to make it 41-0. I see some numbers here.
From 84.
Yeah. Well, if it would have been 82, we could have combined the 41s.
Yeah, but I don't see an 82 on the roster, so that'll have to go. It comes with 1:44 remaining in the first half.
It is homecoming, and we will introduce you to the homecoming queen and her court at the break.
A look at some of the expensive mums that
Mum's the word.
are always a treat on homecoming. You know, any homecoming before September is a no-go. You know, I like homecomings in October.
Yeah?
We expect a little cooler weather, but it's not bad. Temperature probably in the mid-70s.
Feels like it's in the 60s in the press box.
Yeah, that lightning delay cool things off, at least up here. All right, Bert Auburn set to kick off with 1:44 left. Same 2 men back deep. Whether they'll get their hands on it is another question with a leg of Auburn. Hangs this one up and hits 4 yards and pounds it through the end zone over the end line once again. Looks like the NFL. I don't think there are any kickoff returns in the NFL anymore. Everything's brought out to the why don't they just kick off from the 20?
Why don't they just start at the 25?
I love kickoff returns.
Just start at the 25.
Well, they are for about the 10th time tonight from the 25. With 1:44 to go. Nick Cole back in as a running back. They're not cut down at the 23. Loss of a couple of yards. Stays in bounds. It'll be 2nd and 12. We've seen Cole, we've seen Scott. Nice catch by Anthony Miles earlier in the half. Ashton Scott to the left of Adrian Medina. Play clock down to 4. Ashton Scott trying to make something. He crosses a 25. Gets it out to the 26. He'll need about 9 yards upcoming here on third down. Inside of a minute. Toy Tigers are poised on the near sideline.
They're ready to go.
They were ready at 6:30 before the lightning delay. 3rd and 9 from the 26. Eddie Salazar with a shift over to the right. Straight handoff. 30, 35, first down yardage, crossing the 40. And a nice run by Ashton Scott. 15 on the game.
Just a little quick hitter. Scott picking the holes nicely. Keeps the drive alive.
First down yardage out to the 43. 2 seconds, 1 second, and the Tigers, did they call a timeout before the clock goes to all zeros? I guess they did. There can't be more than a second left here in the first half as they utilize their final timeout and facing a 1st and 10. Three touchdown passes, a running touchdown, a couple of field goals, and an interception. A scoring summary for the Jaguars in the first half. 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. So they got it at the 43 on 1st and 10. Got twin receivers wide right. That would be Torres and Mason.
2 seconds on the clock.
Scott, the running back. Anthony
2 seconds
Miles
back on the clock.
on the near side. So officially 2 seconds, barring a penalty on the defense here in the first half. It's caught across midfield. That's Miles. Miles to the 45. And that's how the first half ends. A pass from Medina to Anthony Miles. Miles, the sophomore, with his second catch. And a very confident Flower Mound team taking a 41-0 lead into the locker room. Our halftime score, Flower Mound 41, the Irving Tigers nothing. Halftime activities, highlights, and stats upcoming on our ICTN Game of the Week.
It's halftime. Flower Mound on top, 41-0. It is halftime. By the way, the 80th time Irving High School has celebrated a homecoming. So let's go down to the field. We'll introduce you to the homecoming queen and her court, and then we'll have a look at the highlights and the stats when this is over.
Very own Superintendent Magda Hernandez. The pep rally and bonfire was last night with the traditional burning of the eye. The bonfire and burning of the eye was facilitated by our Marine Corps Junior ROTC Battalion and its instructors. The homecoming dance is scheduled for tomorrow night from 7 until 11 at the Irving Convention Center. Tickets may be purchased at the door for $40 each. And now we turn our attention to the highlight of homecoming. As in past years, the most glamorous part of homecoming is the presentation of the court and the crowning of the homecoming queen. Every year, the students of Irving High elect a queen and king of the homecoming events. The king will be announced tomorrow night at the dance. Each class has chosen princesses and princes to represent them in the queen's court. Irving High School proudly presents to you their selections for the homecoming court. We proudly present the 2019 homecoming court representing the freshman class, Princess Abigail Rodriguez. Abigail is being escorted by Jackie Holstein. Abigail is in volleyball and plans to go to college to earn a bachelor degree. Princess America Watson. America is the daughter of Anna Watson and Israel Medina, who are escorting her tonight. America plays softball and plans on becoming a pediatrician. Prince Emerson Cortez. Emerson is being escorted by his coach, Deshaun Thompson. He is a member of the football team and has big plans to become a lawyer. Representing the sophomore class, Princess Yahaira Ibarra. Yahaira is the daughter of Josefa Carreno and is being escorted by her tonight. She is part of the athletic training team and enjoys doing ceramics. Her future plans are to go to college and be successful in life. Prince Axel Hernandez. Axel is being escorted by Cesar Pineda. Axel is a member of the Irving Marching Band and the IHS Diesel Tech program. He has plans to attend college after graduation. Prince Anthony Miles. Anthony is escorted tonight by cousins Jay Wallace and Tiffany Caldwell. He is part of varsity track and varsity football. After graduation, Miles plans to join the NFL. Representing the junior class, Princess Caitlin Vieira. Caitlin is being escorted by her mother, Dina, and her brother, Manuel Vieira. She is in the culinary and photography program and plans to go to college to pursue a career as an architect. Prince Nathan Rodriguez. Nathan is escorted tonight by his father, Juan Rodriguez. He is in varsity football and plans to join the Navy and become an intelligence officer. Princess Lindsay Rodriguez. Lindsay is escorted by her mother, Candelaria Pinacho. Lindsay is one of 4 Irving High drum majors and is also a member of the Academic Decathlon, Interact Club, and SEMA Ballet Folklorico. Prince Andres Gonzalez. Andres is the son of Yenny and Lalo Gonzalez, who are escorting him tonight. Andres is involved with the baseball team and the aviation program. He plans on attending the Naval Academy and becoming a pilot in the Marine Corps. And now our Queen and King nominees. Representing the senior class, King nominee, Jair Figueroa. Jair is escorted by his mother, Maria Torres, and his sister, Harlette Figueroa. Jair is a member of the Mighty Marching Band and is involved in Interact Club. He plans to attend Baylor University to pursue a degree in business marketing. Queen nominee, Yuri Vargas. Yuri is daughter of Julissa Madrigal and is being escorted by her mother and her brother Jose Madrigal. Yuri is the head drum major for the IHS Mighty Marching Band, Student Council Vice President of Community Service, Interact Club Treasurer, and NHS Historian. After graduation, she plans to attend the University of Texas at Austin and major in psychology to become a school psychologist. Queen nominee, Violet Brentham. Violet is the daughter of Sean and Kim Brentham, who are escorting her tonight. Violet is in theater, dance, choir, Tiger Fever, and National Honor Society. After graduation, she plans to go to college and major in communications or musical theater. King nominee, Tavon Houston. Tavon is the son of Latavia Foster, who is escorting him tonight. Tavon is a Toy Tiger escort and is part of Theater and Drama Club. He plans to graduate from Michigan Tech with a degree in mathematical statistics and data analysis to later become an engineer. King nominee, Q Ta. Q is escorted by his teacher, Carolina Pineda, and student Alejandra Sorto. Q is the National Honor Society Club Treasurer, Class of 2020 Historian, President of Destination Imagination Club, Advisor President of Interact Club, member of Avid Club, Art Club, TAFE Club, and Tiger Guard. Q plans to attend UT Austin and pursue a bachelor's degree in education. Queen nominee, Giselle Hernandez. Giselle is escorted by teacher Catherine Knapp and student Cynthia Lopez. Giselle is part of Tiger Fever, DECA, and Destination Imagination. She plans on attending college to pursue a career in business. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. The 2019 homecoming queen is Miss Yuri Vargas. The Queen's Bouquet is presented to her by Miss Ana Gomez, principal of Irving High School. Our 2018 homecoming queen, Zakoria Hooper, will now crown the 2019 queen. The 2019 homecoming king is going to be announced tomorrow night at the homecoming dance. We hope to see everyone there. Congratulations to all of the members of the homecoming court, and especially to Queen Yuri Vargas.
Well, congratulations to Yuri Vargas, the 2019 homecoming queen for the Irving Tigers. Give something for these Tiger fans to cheer about. It's been a tough 2 quarters so far. It's all been Flower Mound, an offense that is very potent and can strike in a hurry. In fact, their first touchdown came in just after 2 plays and covered about 35 yards or more. Blake Short over to Reed Touchstone, his 3rd touchdown of the season, 7-0. After a field goal made it 10-0. And then a really nice catch here by Parker Clark in the back of the end zone. Beautiful play, 17-0, as they also had that field goal we talked about. Then they scored again. Good pressure here, and Medina, who was rushed, Marco Session read it. Once he caught it, he's gone. You're not going to catch him. 72 yards in all. Made it 24-0. They weren't through yet either, as they went in under a minute in 6 plays. They went nearly 75 yards in all to get their last touchdown. Hudgens on a 2-yard run made it 31-0, and then another touchdown by Clark had it 38-0. Here's the stats at the halftime. And really it should come as no surprise. Tigers with a couple of interceptions. That one really hurting. The passing yards in rushing about even for the Tigers. But you look at the passing yards for the Jaguars, 169 in all.
Tigers.
And the penalties, not a lot of yellow hankies out there tonight. And that's the good news. So we're at the break. The teams are back on the field. It's 41-0 Jags. There's your homecoming queen. Congratulations to her. We'll be back with the second half kickoff in a moment.
And just about set for half number 2. The Irving Tigers trailing 41-0. The Jaguars, as if the score weren't bad enough, will touch the football first to begin the second half. An old familiar song back deep. The same 2 guys that have been back for every kickoff and every punt return tonight. Number 7 and number 14. That's Reed Touchstone and Reese Carter. Cabezas, and this one sails out of bounds at about the 25.
They're consistent with that hook.
Man, that's like my golf swing on a right to left bender in the rough, but you have to play that one. You don't have to play this one.
Did you say you had an all-night bender? Is that what you said?
Got that right to left syndrome. Out of bounds at the 27.
Let's see how soon we see Clark as a starting quarterback. I think he's there in the second half, John.
I was going to ask you that same question. I see Andrew Moss.
Yeah, Clark is there, number 12. He's going to run that offense here, I believe, in the second half for Coach Basil and company. So they got some of the second teamers out there right now.
Parker Clark, sophomore, hands it off straight ahead. That's Andrew Moss. Moss over right guard to the 37-yard line.
Got a flag far sideline. Defensive back for Irving. Got tangled up a little bit with Brendan Wang. If I got the number right, it's either Brendan or it's Landon Widener, one of the two. Away from the play, a little extracurricular. And we'll see if it's one of those on both sides or they picked out the initial culprits.
Live ball, personal foul, defense number 5, 15 yards enforced from the previous spot, automatic first down.
So tack on 15, a drive that started from the 33. The penalty-aided yardage carries it across midfield and spotted at the 48 of Irving.
Davian Williams, who got tangled up there, called for the penalty.
Parker Clark from the shotgun in motion. Riley Sanders. This is Sanders on the jet sweep. Sanders inside the 40, 35, 30. Woo. Sanders bumped hard out of bounds at about the 23.
Sanders with some wheels, John.
Well, Riley Sanders, a senior. First time he has touched the ball tonight and gains a huge amount of yardage, and the dude spotted out of bounds at the 22. Close to 30 yards. At least 25. Just underway, 30 seconds into the second half. Parker Clark from the spread again. Sanders in motion. Hand off to Moss. Moss shoulder down at the 18.
Doesn't take this team long to score. In fact, most of their scores take under a minute. And we're almost at the first minute of the third quarter.
Caden Basil, number 16, wide right. Caden Wood in the offensive line. Here is Moss, 25, and close to a first down. Needed to get to the 13. He's right at the 13. Andrew Moss at 5'9", 165 pounds. Third and less than a yard. To the 5, to the end zone, virtually untouched. Parker Clark did a 180 spin, then took it over left guard, and nobody laid a hand on him.
That was what you call a broken play touchdown, John.
Worth a second look.
He turned around to give it to Moss. Moss went one way, and you see right there Clark talking to the bench like, I thought I was supposed to spin to my left. Well, he just used his speed to go right up the middle. You've got fresh legs out there for the second team, and look at there, they took a minute and a half, 30 more seconds.
Extra point is into the night, and it is 48-0. From 13 yards out.
This is sick. Go to the right. Oh, right? No, left? What? Okay, I'll just go up the middle. Every hat finds someone, and they go on and score. Speaking of hats, Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
Irving fans may be noticing that the helmets look a little flatter, dingier than last year. They looked, to me, resembled a little bit like Notre Dame's helmets. They were that bright gold that would reflect on the lights, and we look down this year and they look a little flat. What's the word on that?
Well, it would have cost more to repaint that shiny gold than this dull kind of a matte finish. And Coach De Santo is telling me that they looked at about every program, Central Florida, Purdue, and wanted kind of a different look. It's cost worthy and kind of a nice flat look that reflects nice at nighttime.
It kind of looks like Purdue, don't you think?
It does. A Boilermaker look.
Yeah.
So it's a 48-0 lead, a minute and a half on the drive that goes 67 yards. And a busted play, Parker Clark turning it into 6.
Last year, the same Jags defeated Irving 62-14.
Jalen Jackson back with Nick Cole. Again next week, our ICTN Game of the Week, the Cardinals and the same Tiger squad. Flower Mound will host Nimitz next week. They close out the season right here against Mac on November 7th. Burt Auburn. And Auburn hammers it 5 yards deep. On one hop, Nick Cole will let it go, and the first possession of the second half for the Tigers starting from the 25.
I don't see Medina out there either, John.
Yeah, I was checking number 16. Medina is the quarterback.
Is he? I thought it was 13 for a reason, but maybe. Okay, Medina's still there.
Trey Rogers is a new running back, number 13. You did see a 13.
Okay, gotcha. Got a football loose. Come on, young man. There you go.
You got to pick up that tee after a kickoff and retrieve the football on the touchback. So Trey Rogers, the new running back. Rogers is a junior. And Medina will throw to the near side and caught over the shoulder. Nice catch and a gain of 6. Solomon Neal, didn't think we'd see Neal tonight, but he starts the second half. Neal, a senior, and the team's leading receiver, his 16th catch of the year.
Well, you can see why he's the leading catcher on the team. He runs a good route, has good hands.
Did not play in the first half, had his shoulder pads off. And
I bet that was a discipline thing, John.
more than likely it was. 2nd and 5. And a gain of 4 as Trey Rogers carries it over the right side.
Tough running by Trey. Gets it close to the first down marker. 3rd down and 1, a very acceptable margin. Hey, have you seen the new yard markers, or the down markers that are illuminated this year? Have you seen those in college?
No, I haven't. So
really?
I was thinking it's just a matter of time before we see a laser look or some kind of a light effect.
Well, the 3rd down marker for sure is now lit. Little LED light in the background really illuminates well.
Where did you see it?
Watching a college game.
3rd and a yard. And here's Neal. Neal 40, 45. Neal, open turf, 30. Neal, one man to beat to the 15, and stiff arms the defender at the 11, and is knocked out of bounds at that point.
How about a 55-yarder, just like that?
Solomon Neal, and a biggest gain of the night for the Tigers.
Well, you get your playmaker open, get him in the flats, and let the speed work it. And a good job, first of all, by the lineman, who kind of did like a crackback. They caught Flower Mound going one direction, and Neal comes back in the opposite. Flag late.
Taunting,
Unsportsmanlike
conduct.
After the play,
Offense number 1, that is his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
instead of the 11, they're going to mark it at the 26-yard line. So 15 yards from the 11-yard line at the end of the play.
So Neal, after he made the great play, a little excited, and he gets called for taunting.
From the 26, 1st and 10, and some motion. Either the Jaguars were drawn off sides, and they were. Motion illegal procedure will cost the Tigers 5 more.
They can't handle the big play, huh?
Man, now it's at the 31.
First down 15, ball to 31.
They've gained about 30 yards off of this. 9-10 to go in the third quarter, and they're making it run, aren't they?
Yeah.
on the 31 and a loss, nothing at all. Couple of party crashers in on that play. The first one, Colton Vete, number 68.
And Eby, watch number 5. There he is. Wraps them up, puts them down.
Second and 18 yards needed.
I was curious how long they would leave Stone in there.
That the clock is going to run as long as possible with a 48-0 lead. Caught in the middle and dragged down at the 30.
Eby again, number 5, reading the play. That middle screen worked a little bit in that first half.
Fernando Torres, the receiver. I believe that's his third catch. Ball spotted squarely on the 30. And they now need 14 yards. 3rd and 14. Deep ball across the middle. It's up for grabs and batted down at the 2. Intended for Neal, who drew double coverage. And now another flag as Neal shoves both hands to the helmet of Diego Moran, number 24. And now there's an ejection. Yeah. He has been thrown out of the game. Now it's a matter if he stays on the team for the rest of the year. Solomon Neal just lost it.
Yeah, he did. I don't understand that young man's fury. Upset. Maybe they said something to him that triggered it, but he wouldn't let it go, John.
Well, Coach De Los Santos now has a big decision to make on Solomon Neal for the rest of the year.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the young man wanting to play well and being emotional, but you've got to keep it in check.
It was 3rd and long. It is now 4th down. No doubt penalty yardage coming in a 48-0 game. So Solomon Neal will leave the premises. He cannot stay on the sidelines. He's been escorted to the locker room.
So all the officials, Tim Pierce is the head official. And we have a big crew. Stennis, Bewley, Mort, Crow, Wooten, Nemo, Wally Banks doing the clock. And so the gentleman you see there will have to decide how far back, because they could put about 3 personal fouls in there if they wanted. Here we go.
We have 2 dead ball fouls. Personal foul, Irving, number 1. We have an unsportsmanlike conduct and the throwing of a punch, Irving, number 1, and he is disqualified.
So we knew that would
happen. Both fouls will be enforced, and we'll move from there.
Well, he pointed the wrong direction.
Yeah.
It was number 1 both times.
This is going to be close to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, because that's going to be 30 yards and penalties.
Yeah, they're still walking. It's across midfield.
To the 40. That's like 60 yards in penalties.
Now, wait a minute. That's Irving's own 40-yard line. That's, gosh.
Well, it would 2
yards,
that's
30.
That's 30. 10, 20, 30. So if they had it at the 30, well, they had it at the 34. So I'm thinking 4 yards shy. They gave them 4 too many, but nonetheless.
It's 4th in the field. A spinner may have been partially blocked. And we'll be down to the 38 of Flower Mound.
You know, Flower Mound did the right thing, and as soon as he punted it, they all just ran to the sideline. That way you don't get any extracurricular. 7:26 to go, John, and
let's keep an eye on that clock.
Yeah.
They got to start it, and we'll see if they can run it off. as much as possible. 48-0. The Flower Mound Jaguars will now go to 4-1 and 2-0 in the district. Near their own 38. Inside toss, Caden Basil. Basil trying to get some yardage, and here's a flag. Here's another one at the 41-yard line.
Well, maybe the refs are getting paid by the flags tonight.
I've thrown 3. I haven't thrown one yet. Now here's my first.
Yeah.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 5, 15 yards, automatic
So
first
Davian
down.
Williams called for the face mask, and that'll mark off some more yards.
The rule that went into effect about 5 years ago, a face mask, you can touch it, grab it, whatever. Any kind of contact with a face mask is 15 yards. Some of that's a little unfair. If you just happen to graze it and not tug it, it's still a 15-yard penalty. From the 44, looking for running room, and he's got it 35 inside the 30, and another flag.
This could be coming back, as it appeared that Escamilla, a sophomore linebacker, number 14, was hit.
Got a player down for the
Yeah, that's
Tigers.
him, number 14. I thought that's the one the flag is going to be thrown against. Not that he committed it, but was the recipient of perhaps a blindside block or a clip. Also on the far side, there's also a Flower Mound player down as well.
Kelvin, a sophomore.
All right, let's see if we can straighten all this out.
Holding, offense number 6, 10 yards from the spot of the
Yeah,
foul.
Riley Sanders,
Remains
number
first
6,
down.
called for the hold. I think maybe he was holding Escamilla, and then in the process he got kind of twisted up a little bit, but he's walking off on his own strength, and now Flower Mound will have to.
They've got an offensive lineman down.
Yeah, right there at 57. Brett Perry, 57. Watch 57, top of your screen. Yeah, he gets rolled up from behind. It's
That's
a lineman's nightmare.
A high-low job. Never saw it coming. He'll be escorted to the sidelines. Penalty yardage. That places the ball at the 44.
Looking at the all-time record of these two schools, you know, of course, Irving's been around since the Flintstones, and they have 27 ties in the history of Irving, and Flower Mound, not one tie. And with the new tie-breaking record, you know, not record, but tie-breaking rules, that will mean Flower Mound will never have a tie.
That's, yeah, 19 years. No, yeah, you're right. That's a 0 on that ledger.
That will remain there unless they change the rules, and I don't know why.
Straight ahead and a first down. Number 42, Andrew Moss. Moss up the middle.
Moss is a pretty good backup to have, I think.
He's got 2 more years. 44 seniors, 11 juniors, and 4 sophomores.
Moss was look at this. Moss was the second leading rusher coming in, John, with 44 yards.
Shows you how much they rely on the pass. Parker Clark in relief of Blake Short. Here's Clark. He'll hand it off straight ahead. There's Moss breaking tackles, and Moss still on his feet and is thrown down at about the 12.
42 once again on the carry.
In the area, Montre Mason, the safety. And another first down. Changes for the Tigers. Brian Enriquez in the D-line.
15. Brings up first down 10 for third.
And they brought on Axel Victoria. Victoria now wearing number 17 for the rest of the year. First and 10, Flower Mound. They scrimmage from the Irving 13. On top, 48-0. Inside give. There's number 81. There's your man, Rob. Takes it inside the 5. Landon Widener.
All 6'3", and they said he's 180? Come on now.
There's your man you were impressed in warm-ups tonight, number 81.
I said he would score in the third quarter, John, didn't I?
No, you really did.
I not?
You really did.
And there was his opportunity right there. Come on, Coach Basil.
First and goal from the 2. Reese Carter, running back. Parker Clark, sophomore, running the team now. 5, they may not get the playoff.
You don't see a lot of teams with that color blue.
Delay of game as the play clock shows 0. Yeah, it's not a sky blue and it's not a royal blue.
It's a dark, dark blue.
5 yards. Remains first down.
So it's first and goal now from the 7. 5-yard penalty. They're going to send Basil number 16 wide right. On first and goal, here's a handoff, and to the 2-yard line, Riley Sanders. So Sanders down at the 2, it is second and goal. And now Sanders slow to get up as he took that hard hit at the 2. And a stoppage right here with 4:26 left in the third.
You know, there were a lot of, maybe folks talking about just how good Flower Mound is this year. If you look at what they've done, they came in at 3-1, but here's the deal. They defeated Fossil Ridge, but Fossil Ridge is only 1-3. They defeated Plano West. West hadn't won a game all year. So then you play a good team like Prosper, who's undefeated at 5-0, and you get beat pretty good. And then, to me, the only win that you get the gold star by is Louisville. The Farmers came in highly touted, thought they were going to build upon the foundation they laid last year, and they had to come back and win this one, 34-30. So you really just don't know how good this Flower Mound team is. Let's see what happens when they play Hebron.
Yeah, week 7.
Yeah, that'll tell you just how good this team is.
They play Hebron on week 7, Coppell on week number 9. They're 2-2 this year.
They're at Hebron. They're at home against Coppell. And so just kind of get the results of those two, and maybe that'll gauge just how good Coach Basil's team is and what they can do.
Oh, the tension was taking a long time on Riley Sanders, and Sanders still down and not yet up in a sitting position.
Big game tonight is Denton Ryan taking on Southlake, I believe. Is it Ryan or Denton Geyer playing Southlake tonight? Geyer,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's up in a sitting position for Sanders. Yeah, that's a huge game. A lot of district rivalries will take shape in the coming weeks.
And they finally get the young man to his feet.
So the senior will be escorted to the sidelines.
He took a pretty good hit to the shoulders right there. And spun around a little bit.
Well, he's already down and now twisted down by Mason, number 4, just screws him into the turf.
Yeah, so Sanders kind of shaking around a bit. He might have had his bell rung. At least his teammate doesn't hit him on the helmet. You see so many guys like, ouch, I just got a hit in the head.
Second and goal, and here's 6 over the left side, Colby Clark. Clark from 2 yards out, and it's now 54-0.
Second score of the second half.
Yeah. Yep, Colby Clark. And a drive of 62 yards. And Auburn will try to add to his total tonight. He's been a scoring machine, field goal wise and extra point wise tonight. What, he got 9 points? Up and over.
He'll be playing Florida this weekend.
Is that a day or night game?
It's a day game, I believe. Auburn and Florida.
55-0, and another look.
Nothing really fancy, folks. You just find someone to block. Helmet on helmet and push them far enough to where Clark can find an open hole and score a touchdown.
So a rushing touchdown, another one tonight for the Jaguars. They've taken a bite out of the Tiger hide with 4:16 to go here in the third. A double nickel on the board.
Irving will take on MacArthur. Irving will be the visitors next week. We'll have that game for you on ICTN. Tigers will then host Louisville. They travel to Coppell. They will be the visitors against Nimitz. And then they finish the season at Hebron to finish things out. You see what they have done so far tonight.
Is that game here or at Hebron? That's
it's here.
Got to host Hebron
To finish
last
out
game
the
of the
season.
year. Some schools will end the regular season on the 7th. Some will end on the 8th of November. That's a Friday. Do they have a relief kicker? Or is Auburn going to do it all tonight?
He's going to do it all.
Bert Auburn, BA, and hammers another one deep. Dropped and coming out with it. Scooped up at the goal line.
Uh-oh.
Jackson, 20, 25, 30 down the sidelines. This is Mason. Jackson rather, cuts it back against the grain. Jackson, 30. And number 8, Jalen Jackson, takes it some 75. Another flag drop back at midfield. He bobbled it about a yard deep in the end zone. Able to regain it and find some running room. Picked up a couple of blocks, maybe one of them from the backside. And that's where the flag was dropped at the 50.
Sophomore with a lot of speed. Yeah, it wasn't a bobble. It just bounced off his helmet or his chest, and he had to pick it up and had a full head of steam.
He's listed as an athlete, Jalen Jackson. Not a position, but an athlete. He does play cornerback on defense.
That's when they don't know where to put you.
Personal foul, blindside block.
So second time tonight,
46
John,
White,
Flower
15
Mound has
yards
been
added
called
to
for a
the
blindside
run.
block
Automatic
when they're
first
not
down.
the offensive team.
If you can see the number, don't throw the block.
Look to the left of your screen. Get ready to see if you can see what they're talking about. Right there, I guess, 46 when he pushed a player down, Shanahan. Was that it?
I guess so. They're going to keep moving the ball and place it at the 12-yard line. It's 1st and 10, Tigers at the Jaguar 12. Boy, there have been a boatload of penalties here in this second half. Maybe a yard.
And we're not talking rowboat. We're talking yacht.
Man. Yeah.
Yacht size.
Nick Cole on the handoff.
50 footer, no less. A trawler. Not a kayak. Not a catamaran.
Wow. Big boat. Number 30, Ashton Scott. In for Cole. On second down, they swing it out. This is caught. And was his knee down?
No,
Cameron Williams.
it hit the ground. My question would be, it wasn't a lateral. If it was a lateral, he could have scored, but they said it hit the ground, and we go on.
It's 3rd and 8.
He's at about the 4 when he throws the ball. And yeah, he's a tad forward.
They need to get to the 2-yard line. It's 3rd down. Ashton Scott to the left of Medina. Medina loading up, throws. It is caught and dropped. And separated from the ball, Anthony Miles at the 3-yard line.
Another one of those underclassmen.
So it's 4th and 8. And the clock stopped, Rob. It now picked up again.
That was pretty close to being an outstanding catch by Miles.
Had guys bracketed all around him.
Oh, in traffic.
4th and 8. See what kind of role Scott plays here, number 30. On 4th down. Well, he's throwing a block. It's a pass and batted down in the end zone.
Irving sent 3 men to the goal line. All 3 covered rather well, I might add. It would take a bullet to get that pass in, and Irving turns it over. You're seeing what it looks like for the quarterback. They blitz, but the blitz was put up pretty well, and he had to thread that one. Maybe a little over the back. I don't know, but might have said he's going for the ball regardless.
Intended for Cameron Williams. So the ball goes over on downs. It's 1st and 10 at the 10 for Parker Clark.
Moss in at running back.
To the 17-yard line and a quick 7 yards. Adding to his total, Andrew Moss.
Thing about this offense, John, is it's like those teams that used to run up a lot of points with the run and shoot they'd call, or the wide open offense. It's what you run, and it almost looks awkward when you slow down. You're up to the line, you're constantly moving. Now Flower Mound has slowed it down somewhat here in the second half.
Dylan Galligan in number 85 as a receiver, running play to the 21-yard line. Another handoff to Andrew Moss. Check out some other new numbers on the O-line. Pat Strawderman, number 75, now in the game. It's a 1st and 10 at the 21. Under a minute to go in the 3rd. Parker Clark from the shotgun. Just another basic handoff, and Moss close to the 30. Chris Stites also in the game, number 61. Rowan Gaikwad, number 70. 2nd and a yard from the 30. Could be the last play of quarter number 3. Another running play. Crossing the 35-yard line is Andrew Moss, and that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Set the chains, start the clock, and Jags in no hurry to get this one off. Leading 55-0. And we'll head to the 4th quarter. Our score, Flower Mound 55, the Irving Tigers nothing. Back with more on our ICTN Game of the Week. Twelve minutes to play. First play of the 4th quarter. It is 1st and 10. Flower Mound at their own 37. Here's the inside toss, and nothing at all for Basil. Cut down at the line of scrimmage. Caden Basil, senior. He'll head out wide right. Number 66. Leaves on the O-line. 2nd and 10. In motion, Colby Clark. Handoff straight ahead. Moss crosses a 40. Out to the 41-yard line. That'll be the basic play for the rest of the night. Running plays up the middle. keep the clock moving and don't go out of bounds.
How do you like the new face masks in the pros this year?
A little different. It took me about a couple of weeks to
Figure it out?
Yeah, I did.
Zeke, he's got the wild look one. Running backs all have that extra bar, and they have to make it somewhat crooked. And
Landed a Widener wide left, but he won't enter into the play. Another running play, crossing the 45, close to a first down is Moss. And it is a first down. It was 41-0 at halftime. A couple of scores by Clark here in the second half.
we were discussing this during the break. Not one pass by the Jags here in the second half.
Colby Clark, Parker Clark, and Andrew Moss. Your running backs and inside receiver for the rest of the night. From the 47 on first down, inside toss. And number 85, Galligan. Galligan out to the 48-yard line.
Axel Victoria, the senior linebacker. Nice little tackle, wrapped him up at the line of scrimmage. In fact, the backup quarterback for Flower Mound came in attempting just one pass, completed it for 13 yards and a touchdown.
Two receivers on either side. In motion is Widener.
Oh.
Moss.
I chuckle, I'm sorry, but Widener just took out his teammate, Moss. Moss is like, who hit me? Your own guy.
Friendly fire there on the play.
Oh, I'm telling you. Watch again, 81 hit 42. Oh, right in the helmet, too. No wonder he comes up a little shaky.
That's sideswiped. Fill out the accident report.
Who hit me? Your own guy.
Loss of a yard, 3rd and 11, but that's really inconsequential right now for the rest of the game. And motion on a high snap delivered to Clark.
Illegal snap on the snapper, 5 yards, remains third
Well,
down.
they weren't on the same page, were they?
There's the connection there.
5-yard penalty. Let's fall to the 41-yard line. Third down.
Tigers will
16 yards to go.
fall to 0-5, 0-2 in the district. 3rd and 16.
It's, for me, well, let's just play. Not much there. To me, I like it when you finish out the season with your rivalry. When South Grand Prairie, they'd play the last game of the season. I'm looking at Flower Mound's schedule, and they play their arch rivals, Flower Mound Marcus, like
Yeah, I see this.
you see like eight week, and you're like, gosh, you wish that could be the last game of the season. Could mean something, could have playoffs, home field, whatever.
Here's the Jaguar punt. It hits at the 23, takes a favorable roll inside the 10, inside the 5, and will be down at the 3.
That Auburn, he can do it all, can he?
And he's a weapon. Here's my question, Rob. When does Flower Mound get another high school or two? When do they get 2 more high schools in that area?
Are you trying to tell me they're stuffing the ballots?
Man, Louisville and Flower Mound, they're like killer now.
They are. Predictions coming into the season. The Dallas Morning News said Hebron would be there, Flower Mound would be second, and then Marcus, Coppell, Louisville, and then the 3 Irving schools. And they're pretty close to how the teams are going so far.
That was the first punt of the night for the Jaguars, and stuffed at the line of scrimmage and shoved back to the 1 is Ashton Scott. See, will they give him the forward progress? Well,
Casey Shanahan, the 6-foot senior linebacker, wrapped him up almost at the point of impact, right at the line of scrimmage.
loses a yard. Backfield now in the end zone. Here's Scott to the 5. A 3-yard gain. And in the area, Nick Bagro, number 37, the safety.
By the way, John Nelson predicting cold weather in 2 weeks.
14 days it comes. Are you saying before that, a little earlier? What's considered cold or cool?
Yeah,
I mean, make the difference.
It's got to drop. It's got to drop 15 degrees. Might drop 10 here within a week.
3rd and 9. And a stoppage of play here.
I guess when the ladies drag out the boots,
Well,
that's when the cold front comes through.
or if you bought that winter coat over the summer on those sales and kept it in the
Who
closet.
needs a winter coat in Texas?
Puff jacket. Little light puff jacket.
Yeah, you know, a hoodie, sweat jacket. That's all you need. You don't need anything heavy.
Dress down.
How many times did you wear a heavy jacket in the winter last year?
Twice, just 2 times.
Yeah.
Well, that was walking to a sporting event at night because it was a long walk to the parking lot. That was only twice.
You know, the funny thing is, if you go to a Cowboy game or any game at Jerry World in the winter.
Where do you put the coat?
Yeah, because once you get inside, it's hot.
It is.
Especially if you have to sit up in the nosebleed section. You're like on fire.
No place to hang the coat. 6:40 left in the contest. It's 3rd and 9 for the Tigers. They scrimmage from their own 5. Movements and all kinds of motion.
Hey, another flag, John.
Yeah, this will be half
Dead
the
ball.
distance.
False start. Number 30.
Put her down at the
offense.
2.5-yard
Half the
line.
distance to the goal. Remains 3rd down.
A little anxious there. Right side, slot. Trying to get a jump. Moved, got caught. Move them back some more.
Right in the shadow of the goal line with 6:17 left to play. Here's an opening, 10 to the 15, and we may have a face mask as Ashton Scott wrestled to the turf.
Be 15 more yards with the face mask.
3rd possession of the half for the Tigers.
Face mask. Defense number
What was it,
27.
week 2?
15 yards. Automatic 1st down.
Tom Brady said he had to turn off a Thursday night game because of so many flags. He ducks his head and grabs him right toward the end. Austin James, a corner.
I do agree. It's kind of hard to watch when you have penalties about every other play in the pros. Here's the sweep. Running out of bounds at the 33. That's Jackson, number 8. Jalen Jackson, sophomore. He has caught a touchdown pass this year. Market just shy of the 33. With 5:45 to go. Homecoming night for the Tigers. First week of October, 2nd down and needing 8. It's a pass. It's caught up high at the 40, then extra yardage of about 6 more. Nathan Rodriguez went up high, pulled it down, and ran for 5 more.
Nice pitch and catch. Got out in the flat. They really just don't have time to go deep, try to go more than 15 yards. It's got to be just a step and throw. And that's been the more successful routes for Irving tonight. Anytime the quarterback has to set up and wait for something to free open, he is in danger of getting sacked.
From the 47, tough running ahead over left tackle. Maybe a yard for Scott.
Have you been to the fair yet this year?
No, I have not. And before you know it, it'll be over.
And then you'll say, oh gosh, maybe next year.
Another year gone.
Yeah.
Cameron Williams now in, number 2. They pull the tight end, Eddie Salazar. 4.5 to go. 2nd and 9 from the 48. And Scott to midfield. In on the tackle, number 25, Jake Lemon.
So we've had 2 years of this district, and a lot of coaches in the Irving ISD waiting to see what happens in February when the UIL announces the district realignments. And I think the Irving coaches are hoping to get back in cahoots with the Grand Prairie district.
If they go east, that would be a pretty logical fit. District 6-6A for the past 2 years. Inside toss, Jackson trying to get to the 45 is triple teamed. Well, he draws a crowd quickly.
It's been about, was it 4 or 6 years ago when they had R.L. Turner in their district and Skyline, and Skyline of course didn't bode well in football, but in all the other sports the Irving schools were able to take advantage. You had them and Grand Prairie High and
South.
Yep, they had some successful seasons that way.
From the 45, tripped up but able to get a second effort and a first down in the process. Ashton Scott. Mark it at the 36.
South, one of those schools that you think every year they should be competitive, but this year not so. They started off slow, not quite as strong as they've been in the past.
Under 3 minutes from the Jaguar 36. Adrian Medina, the signal caller all night. Out in the left flat, it is called Jackson. Stiff arms the defender, runs out of bounds inside the 30. Able to elude number 41, Brendan Huang.
Quick pass out. Earlier in the game, they did not get that to work and click too much, but this one is a lot more productive than earlier in the ball game.
Clock moving, 2:10 to play, 1st and 10 at the Flower Mound 25. Medina looking, swings it out and dropped by Scott. He had taken his eyes off of it. He had running room straight ahead.
He pretty much had himself and Austin James in the way of the goal line. Everyone had clogged up the middle. He was able to work his way free and to see if he looks up just quick enough to lose the concentration.
2nd and 10 on the sweep. Outside the numbers, inside the 20. Inside the 10-yard line. Jackson thrown out of bounds. They're going to mark it at about the 8. It's 1st and goal. This drive started, remember, from the 3. Started from their own 3. It's now 1st and goal at the 8. Minute 30 to go. Can they punch it in? Ashton Scott, the running back. Gets a handoff, and Scott hit hard in the backfield.
Nice read by Colton Vatney, number 68, a junior second-teamer defensive player. And he pretty much just had a read on the running back. Watch the right part of your screen, cuts right through. It makes the play.
A loss of 2. 2nd and goal from the 10. Medina is blindsided.
Same player again, Colton.
Is flattened at the 17.
He's not the biggest of the D linemen for Flower Mound, but I dare say one of the quickest. He gets off, look how he just does a little swim move past the center. and gets to the quarterback before he's able to make a play.
Clock moving. Can they avoid the shutout with 25 seconds to play? 3rd and goal from the 17. They put 6 in the box, but Dina empties the backfield. Now scrambles, throws it up for grabs. It is knocked down a yard deep in the end zone, intended for Anthony Miles, and he's slow to get up.
Yeah, he got hit by the defensive back making the play, and really, John, if you see the play from the end zone, they could have got Irving for a hold. I mean, the offensive lineman pretty much just wrapped his arms around Colton Vatney, number 68. Watch coming right up the – see him? He's
Yep.
Gravis says, okay, I'm just going to go for it. If I get caught, I get caught.
Angel Aguilera, number 10, in at a wide receiver to the left with 12 seconds to play. 4th and goal from the 17. And that's not going to do it. Just got back to the line of scrimmage, thrown out of bounds hard. And some words exchanged on that hard toss out of bounds on Medina. And that will do it, as they have to come out and place the ball down. Extra words exchange and some tempers here at the end of the game on that last play, as Medina thrown hard out of bounds. So they place it at the 17. 2 seconds to play. They'll take a snap, and that'll do it. 14 points in the 3rd quarter. The Jaguars had the ball for 4 times in the second half. The Tigers had it 3. And there's a drop to the knee, and that will do it, as the Flower Mound Jaguars now go to 2-0 in the district, 4-1 overall, as they polish off the Irving Tigers tonight on homecoming by a final score of 55-0.
Well, John, I hope that the kids for Irving High School, I hope they don't get too down and dejected and give up on the season. I mean, it's a fun sport to play. It's a team sport. And I just hope they keep their head on straight and they come out there and they just try to play the best they can. As you take a look at Coach Basil and talking to some of the coaches on the sideline, shook the hand of Coach Santos, and then talking to some of the Irving guys there on the sideline. Congratulations to him. A big win for them, and they still stay on top in the district race. Highlights in the second half, the misdirection, and the quarterback keeps, goes right up the middle. Nicely done for the touchdown. Made it 48-0. And then they give wide left to the running back, and that is Clark for the touchdown there. Extra point's good. Made it 55-0. Players shaking hands. Tigers regroup, and Flower Mound just keeps on doing what they've been doing. And a very dominating win tonight over the Tigers by a score of 55-0. John, take us home.
All right, Rob, our game of the week next week, right back here for the Cardinals and the Tigers. 55-0, your final score tonight. For my partner, Rob Willman, our executive producer, Scott Snyder, our award-winning ICT and production crew, until next week, this is John Nelson saying good night from Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium.